It is about that time for the candidates, and I'm going to have to apologize in advance. My voice went a little bit as I just got back from the National Open in Vegas, and the smoke didn't do too well with my allergies, but I'm going to do the best I can, and hopefully I can be understood as we go through the Palm Beach chess picks for the candidates. And some of these are going to be hot takes, so be prepared. And please, 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 give us your 1 through 8 in the comments. I'd love to see it and to get some feedback. What you guys think? Okay, so I'm going to bounce over. So we have our candidates here, and I'm going to go from number 8 down to number 1. Number 1 being who I think has the absolute best chance to win the event. So, rounding out the field in number 8, I have Radjabov. Now, he did win the previous World Cup with stellar play, and for the last number of years, he's had a practical repertoire that is mostly solid, and from a large gap of inactivity due to COVID, he definitely falls in 8th and last place with our pick. In May 2021, FIDE decided to give him direct entry into the candidates tournament in 2022, as due to COVID, he elected not to play in the previous event, kind of giving him a spot even though he has not been playing. As the least active player in the field, I am putting him in last. Next up in 7th, we've got Hikaru Nakamura. Nakamura has a large amount of love, especially from the betting sites right now. But does he really have the incentive for success? Many of the other players, this is the only way they make a living. But Nakamura has been extremely successful with a streaming career and is getting to the point where he's widely recognized as the chess player. And I'd probably say he's second only to Carlsen as the most recognizable person in chess. Now, a good tournament or two after a 2-year layoff does not equate good form. Looking through his games from these previous events that qualified him for the candidates, the openings were a bit lackluster and lacking innovation. So we feel that he's going to be 7th on our list. Again, big inactivity has a lot to do with these bottom 2 picks. In 6th, we have Ian Nepo. Now, Nepo developed a firm reputation as someone who can't close out an event if he has an early lead. As this candidates tournament it doesn't really have a high chance of being interrupted due to COVID. It's hard to see him coming out with a win and having a repeat. He's ranked higher than the previous 2 as he spent the better part of half a year training to face the world champion in a match, and that's got to keep you in form with many novelties, especially with the seconds working for you. Next up in 5th, we've got Richard Rapport, and we're starting to get to the dark horse or wild card territory with this pick. Lately, Rapport has shown some immense creativity and good form in his games, with an excellent result in winning the second leg of the FIDE Grand Prix in Serbia. That performance, together with reaching the semifinals in the first leg, was enough to clinch a top 2 spot in the Grand Prix and qualify for the candidates. He's the first so far in our list that has an objective chance of winning if he continues his excellent form. He's been very active. So, yeah, hard to pick for number 5. All right, number 4. This one's going to come as a shock to most people, and they're going to disagree with it. I've got Firouzja. Ali Raza, the young one, Firouzja, the pick that definitely most people are going to agree with, as the 18-year-old 2800 is supposedly on fire. In November, Firouzja participated in the second Grand Prix tournament. He won the tournament with a score of 8 out of 11, half-point head of Caruana, and qualifying for the candidates. He became the 4th youngest player in history to qualify for the candidates tournament. The same month, Firouzja represented France in the European Team Championship, where he scored 8 out of 9 against Grandmaster opposition for the tournament performance rating over 3,000. The tournament November results took his rating above 2,800 for the first time and to number 2 overall and the December standard rating list. At the age of 18 years, 5 months, he became the youngest player to be rated over 2,800, breaking Carlsen's record of 18 years, 336 days. It should be noted that after winning the World Chess Championship in 2021, Magnus said, "If someone other than Firouzja wins the candidates tournament, it is unlikely that I will play the next World Championship match." Now, we've got Firouzja in the 4th spot, mostly due to his inexperience with the pressure in the candidates tournament. A lot of people are going to go, well, he's 18 and playing so great, and he's 2,800. Okay, but you can find a number of videos online that arbiters talking off to the distance or any noise in the playing hall. He's still extremely temperamental and easily distracted. I don't think at 18 he's got the experience yet. And when people go, well, he had such an amazing event. He beat all these GMs and went 8 out of 9 in the European Team Championship. Yep, and he was facing 2,600 competition. It's definitely plausible when you're facing players 200 points beneath you to go 8 out of 9. That's a good tournament, definitely. So how is he going to react when he's facing a well-prepared field? 2 of which, I'm going to say the bottom 2 that we have in our picks are mostly going to play for draws against the ambitious. Remains to be seen if he can continue his good form. With a bad game or 2, he's likely to implode in this tournament, and this is why we have him in the 4th spot. All right, number 3, another hot take. We got Duda. Duda is definitely the person to watch in the Palm Beach Chess opinion. He competed in the World Cup in 2021, and in the quarterfinals, he eliminated the world champion Magnus Carlsen. And that's, you gotta say, you get bonus points for being someone who beat the world champion in a match, in a high-stakes arena in the World Cup. So he qualifies for the candidates tournament by knocking out Magnus Carlsen. He then proceeds to go on to win the World Cup by beating Karyakin in the final 1.5-1/2. It should also be noted that he ended Carlsen's 125-game unbeaten streak. He seems to have Carlsen's number when it comes to high-stakes pressure situations. If he can handle the boss, he can handle this field, and has a strong argument for having a shot at defeating the world champion in a match due to his previous experience. So we'd really like to see, the Palm Beach Chess pick is Duda to win it all. We'd really love to see him go, but objectively, we've got 2 players that have a better chance to win this tournament, but we think that Carlsen would take the match if Duda won. Next up, number 2. We say number 1 and 2, it's very close, but it was due to psychological factors that we put number 2 in the slot. In number 2, we've got Ding Liren. Firmly in the 2,800 club and just the right amount of experience, Ding has what it takes to win this tournament. COVID and his country's strict mandates have prevented him from playing, but they gave him the opportunity to qualify, even with extremely sketchy tournaments and games, to get that minimum number to let him qualify. The thing that made him number 2 on our list was a statement or statements in recent interviews for the candidates tournament. First was he's never dreamed of becoming world champion, and the second is he's very happy with the accomplishment of being Chinese number 1. Now, it may just be modesty on the part of the fantastic player, maybe his personality type, but if you're in striking distance of being world champion, you're the number 2 rated player in the world, and you're openly saying in interviews you don't really have ambition for more, I believe you. And I want a candidate not only to have ambition, but be ready to pounce when they have a chance at the title. I don't know that he's got that killer instinct if he faces Magnus in the match, so I got Ding at number 2. And number 1, the American Fabiano Caruana. Now, I can't say that I would be overly excited to see a Carlsen-Caruana 2 due to their last match having a snoozer, if you will, 12 classical games that were drawn. But it has to be said that Caruana knows what it takes not only to win this tournament, but to then go on to face Magnus in a match. So objectively, unlike anyone else in the field. He has done it all, seen it all, and has the objective best chances to face and defeat Magnus. So we have Caruana, number 1, and maybe this time his friends over at the St. Louis Chess Club YouTube channel won't take a screen capture of his preparation to send it out. I mean, it's kind of funny because Caruana admitted that he had only been made aware of that by one of his seconds before the round 4 press conference of the match. So it really helps when your opponent has your preparation released to him. Maybe people won't do that to him in this match, giving him a better shot. So through the years, Caruana's shown absolutely great form, and with that first-hand experience, he has what it takes to go toe-to-toe, and that is going to round us out with our candidates' picks. So we had some hot takes in there. Hopefully, you guys will comment below. Let me know your 1 through 8, and if you have any big disagreements with mine, this is supposed to be a fun conversation. So please give us your predictions as the candidates tournament is starting soon. Thanks.